Has the internet's hate boner for Mr. Beast finally turned flaccid?
These are molded.
Have generational haters uncovered the proverbial needle in the haystack to finally take down the piece of known as Mr. Beast?
New update. I have received thousands of leaked messages from an official Mr. Beast work chat. These are all just their work chats from 2020 to about 2021 on Telegram.
Has the straw that has broke the proverbial camel's back finally been unearthed to end his career once and for all? Probably not. People don't really seem to care all that much, to be honest. Update! 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 Clean it! Clean the slate! Clean the slate! The group chat got leaked. There's so much shit going on right now. I'm gonna run off. I'm gonna run away into the grass. The other evening, I recorded a video about the most recent group chat leak from Mr. Beast, covered by Rosanna Pansino. Rosanna, I'm not sure how you say their name. The person, the generational hater of Mr. Beast, along with her friend Dawson, a person who has made multiple videos coming out against Mr. Beast, who kind of broke the whole thing wide open there. It's a little windy. We're about to post that video when all of a sudden we get an official response from Mr. Beast. This is the first response that we've actually gotten from Mr. Beast throughout all of this, really outside of the Ava Chris Tyson stuff. He responded to that initially on Twitter. A lot of the stuff we were focusing on in the video that was supposed to be posted today was in regard to his response to that, compared with the things that Ava was typing and saying and sharing in the work group chat, or the group chat, the meme group chat that was shared. Now, I don't know what the is true at all, and quite honestly, I just want everyone to make up and see a big change in YouTube in general. I don't want to be on the internet anymore. I don't like it very much, to be honest, guys. I love it. It's extremely healthy. Whether or not you believe the new allegations coming from Rosanna and Dawson with the whole group chat thing being released, the pressure was on for Mr. Beast to acknowledge the claims. At some point, he had to acknowledge something, whether he's denied them, he's confirmed them, whatever, or just he's saying that they're being looked into. We haven't had anything, but luckily, less than an hour ago, Mr. Beast put a statement out in response to his tweet from July in which he announced he would be hiring an independent third party to investigate the claims that were being made about those within his company and the way that his business works, etc., etc., etc. And this statement that he made an hour ago offers the end of a 3-month-long investigation. A 3-month investigation into allegations regarding my company has concluded. The law firm investigators reviewed millions of documents and messages, conducted 49 interviews. I was asked to refrain from making public statements to enable a detailed and unbiased investigation. But what were the conclusions? Now, it's important to mention that this is the first time we've really had anything legit, any legit evidence come forward of any of this stuff. We've all been operating by the seat of our pants. Piss poor journalism from all sides here, guys, to be honest. It's been really bad. This is the biggest chunk of evidence of anything legit that's been backed by a third party or anyone with a credential in their name that we've seen up until this point. Investigators apparently reviewed millions of documents and messages. That's insane. The investigation results were emailed to the board of directors of Mr. Beast LLC. Quinn Emanuel Urquhart and Sullivan LLP was the law firm that they hired to handle the internal investigation. They have 1,000 lawyers in 35 offices all around the globe. Oh, it's pretty good. I love that. I love lawyers and attorneys and legal things. It's important to remember all the claims that were made against Mr. Beast. We got grooming, pedo, CSAM, all sorts of misconduct. Every possible thing you can imagine, all the way from workplace harassment to, actual real life human predators being employed by the company. So this investigation was conducted at the direction of the Mr. Beast LLC board of directors, and one of the first steps that they took, it seems, to get the investigation underway is sending Dogpack, aka Dawson, a cease and desist, which you've probably seen. You're Mr. Dogpack 404, and it says Satan, Lord of Darkness, and all this stuff, which we've seen it. He showed it to me. It's complicated now. It's gotten really complicated. It was very much so against Mr. Beast, and now there's been quite a few drops of quality of the journalistic integrity of all individuals involved, and now it's like, cease and desist these nuts. They shared that over 4.5 million documents were reviewed for the investigation, all of which were collected from different forms of communication: phones, emails, Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, and Slack. Those are the named sources of communication. And the firm claims on their reputation, on their mom, that its investigation of all public allegations as well as others that arose over the course of the investigation were thorough. That's a huge statement because so much shit has come out. They found that the allegations of misconduct between employees in regard to P-word, grooming, CSAM, and all that and the like are all without basis, which means they're nonsense. The same was found of Mr. Beast LLC's allegations that they'd knowingly hired individuals who have historically done things that were illegal and horrible and abhorrent, or which could even be questionable. Hey man, I wish you would have told us earlier. I wish you'd have had some kind of statement earlier and we didn't have to wait. I guess that makes sense though, to just let a law, because this is, they're gonna do a better job investigating and be less biased than Mr. Beast, but man, cool. So that being said, they did, however, find several instances of workplace harassment and misconduct. So that's not good, but it's good that it's admitted to. They do say that when the company was informed of such conduct, it took swift and appropriate action to address the incident, sometimes firing those involved, which is awesome. You're obviously not going to be able to prevent every single possible thing from going wrong in your company when it's such a large company, you have so many employees, but the swift action, the appropriate response, the professional response, the official channels to handle this type of stuff, the fact that they took them according to this, I mean, I guess if you believe lawyers, it's good. It's good. That's a good sign, I would say. Then the statement shares their perspective on how the company got to the point of things potentially going wrong, indicating growing pains of the channel's rapid growth and popularity and how it simply lagged in its policies and practices, which I believe I said that in my videos. I mean, it's a business. You can't just magically know exactly what to do and how to do everything right. People are going to be trying to step on you. If you earnestly approach someone for their experience in business and you have so much money, you might get taken advantage of. It's difficult. It's difficult to do all this stuff. It's all difficult. They say that it's clear that Mr. Beast LLC is committed to remedying the issues and creating a mature culture where problematic behaviors are not tolerated in the new iteration, which is totally respectable. I hope they actually do that. That being said, there's a lot of issues still with all this stuff. I mean, I'm not now flipping the script and just being like, well, the lawyer said it, so it's true. I would love to see Mr. Beast and Dawson talk about this. That's what I want to see. That's what I feel like most people want to see, is some kind of real human being interaction that can be resolved out of this situation. That's what I would like to see. They outline some of the steps that the company is taking to improve the company culture, which makes sense. They're hiring a new CEO, CPO, CFO, and general counsel. Okay, that sounds good. All employees will undergo mandatory corporate training. Implementation of a new anonymous reporting tool for employees. That's huge. Now, this guy Alex Spiro is the fellow who signed off at the bottom of the document. He's a celebrity lawyer who is represented many high-profile individuals, including Alec Baldwin, during his manslaughter case when he shot that lady. He's also represented Elon Musk, Jay-Z, and multiple top-level athletes. He's a bigwig celebrity dude. He's also currently representing the old Big Justice, New York's Mayor Eric Adams, who is being charged of conspiracy to commit fraud, wire fraud, federal program bribery, and receiving campaign contributions by foreign nationals. More wire fraud solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national, and also bribery. So he must be a good lawyer. Now, this is where things get really interesting for me, because this isn't just okay, Mr. Beast is innocent, he said that he's innocent. This third-party group of trustworthy lawyers representing Eric Adams and Aaron Hernandez have found Mr. Beast to be not guilty, or whatever the response to Alex Spiro's findings have been somewhat mixed, which is great. I really like to see that, because you got to keep the pressure on, dude. There's not this is still not a good resolution. This is not a resolution at all. This is good to see that they're, changing things in the company as a result of this, and they're listening to the investigation, but we found them to be innocent, though. Really? You paid them, though. Okay. Lots of people are quite critical of this investigation. Generational haters of Mr. Beast, which I have respect for that. Okay, guys, there's a certain level of dedication that is required to be able to just be a hater of that level. We need it. We need that level of critical attitude in the world. As soon as this post came out, I've seen Willie Mack, someone who's been very critical of Dawson the entire time, raise the point that while we can interpret what he's admitting to and denying, it would be better at the end of the day if Mr. Beast made it all abundantly clear of what had actually happened, rather than the vague, there was workplace harassment on black and white paper signed Mr. Spiro. the dragon or whatever the fuck. Like, completely agreed. I don't want to see anything else other than the truth come out. Lava GS, the miner that Ava allegedly G-worded, responded that he was glad that the proper and thorough investigation he'd hoped for had finally happened, again insisting he was not G-worded, which, that's good. That's good. This is a good tweet. This is good, real information. It's giving some weight to the lawyer's side. The cosmic scales are tipping back and forth. Dawson's response to this has, of course, been critical of the results of the investigation. He wonders why a report on a 3-month-long investigation is only 2 pages long, and he wants elaboration on how Mr. Beast didn't know he hired a registered SO, and he wants to elaborate on the several isolated instances of workplace harassment and misconduct, which all completely valid points. I would love to see more elaboration on that as well. Let's drag it out. Hey, I'll mediate, guys. Hey, y'all come out to me and I'll do it, all right? I'm just kidding. That makes no sense. I'm just trying to insert myself into the situation to literally enrich myself. I don't care. I don't really care. At the end of the day, it's YouTube, guys. You know, it's YouTube. Oh well. I think that is a fair request, though, for more clarity on what is actually being found, which is a journalistic request. That's the most journalism we've seen in a while. There's also more, though, okay? We got crypto wallet stuff going on behind the scenes with Mr. Beast. There's been some gigantic allegations there, which I hate crypto scammers. I don't think Mr. Beast is a crypto scammer, but there's been some stuff blowing up in regard to that. And on top of that, the 1,000 blind fakers, there's a YouTube channel called Mission Flight that claim Mr. Beast didn't pay 1,000 people to have their eyes fixed, and apparently they used stock footage of doctors fixing people's eyes and then didn't actually fix anyone's eyes, which I don't know if that's true, and there has been some pushback against that, but I'll have to make another video. These are not allegations. I'm not a real journalist at all. I'm just a guy. I like the 2 words big and chungus when used in unison. I like that. It's kind of fun to say it, big chungus. So, anyways, back to the rest of the other video, or however this is, But anyways, 2024 has been quite a tough year for Mr. Beast's brands. He released Lunchly. That got into a bunch of hot water. There's a bunch of mold and stuff all over it or something. He's got Logan Paul playing defense for him, which is bad.
That means that this sign is fake. Somebody typed up and printed out a 100% lie about Lunchly being recalled, taped it to the fridge, then a picture of it was taken by someone else and posted on social media as if it were real.
He's got Logan Paul doing this. The Lunchly, the mold is a feature, not a bug, it's a feature. Or whatever the
It's just crazy to me that we're a $4 lunch kit, and in the first 4 weeks, our headquarters had a bomb threat. The FBI has identified the individual. He's based in London, which is crazy because we don't even distribute there. A fabricated FDA recall that never happened. An attention-hungry little clout goblin who has made it her entire identity to speak negatively on all things Mr. Beast.
As we head into the season finale of 2024, it seems like things are getting tougher for Mr. Beast. It's been a month since we last covered a Beast controversy, and it's crazy that there is already enough stuff for yet another video on the Oompaville channel. These videos are very long, very drawn out. They're not succinct. Brevity is not a word that is in my dictionary, and also other things. Press like if you want to see more awesome content. By the way, I don't care about internet drama. I've decided anymore. I'm back home in Appalachia. I've grown, and I'm having a manic episode. So go to sour.gg, that's what I actually care about. Buy some of my candy. All our shitty competitors, it's all the same shit from the Netherlands. We're awesome, and we actually care about our product. And when you compare it to the average YouTuber product, it is an absolute win. Just kidding.
These, they're better than Sour Patch Kids. They're all natural. No artificial colors, they're all plant-based. The sour, I believe he uses malic acid and citric acid. I think I'm tasting both.
But it is good, though. It is actually good, and I'm pretty proud of it. And it's just candy, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. If you want to buy it, if you got a little extra money, go buy it. It's good for Halloween, probably. Every Friday at 3 Central Standard, we have a new flavor. This Friday, we have watermelon raspberry sour gummies. All right, guys, plant-based, delicious sour gummies, natural dyes, natural flavors, etc., etc. All our competitors. Just kidding, I'm a nice guy. But, yeah, go to sour.gg. Use code MrBeast. Use code LOGANG. I don't know, whatever code might work. There are 2 people who have worked with Mr. Beast in the past who have been keeping the generational hater momentum quite strong. The anti-Jimmy sentiment, the anti-Jimmy movement has two main heads. We're talking, of course, about Dawson, aka Dogpack404, and Rosanna Pansino, who I didn't really know a lot about, and I really don't still. I refuse to do any research on any of this stuff. And Dawson, I feel like, is a pretty good guy, regardless of all this nonsensical internet stuff. I feel like everyone wants to move on from this. I don't, because I'm not really involved. I'm a neutral party. I'm like Switzerland. It's only up for me. And it's juicy as shit, I tell you what. If you hadn't noticed, both Dawson and Rosanna have been very critical of Mr. Beast in the last few months, and Dawson himself is a former employee / child star who has made some very wild claims about employee conduct within the company of Mr. Beast.
He was actually brought back to Mr. Beast in 2023 after sexually assaulting his assistant prior, and promoted to Chief Financial Officer, which is how I personally was introduced to him.
And people who have worked with Mr. Beast, people who have worked alongside Mr. Beast, people who Mr. Beast has hired, etc., etc., etc. A lot of stuff that comes with having a lot of employees, which Mr. Beast has responded to none of, or maybe kind of indirectly with like some Twitter people and stuff, but there hasn't been an official response yet. It's also more than just claims about employee conduct within the Mr. Beast company that is unsavory. There's a lot more. He has a 3-part series. You guys can go check it out if you're interested in actually educating yourselves, or I guess watching internet drama. I don't think the word educating could be used there, but if you are interested in learning more about that for some reason.
This train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, this pit is fake, this guy is fake, this raccoon is a paid actor, this island costs more than $1, this city is not abandoned, these buildings are CGI, but it's not your only way out. You can literally get an Uber to the airport for $20. That's not a lurker. It's just a guy. This whole room is fake. This contestant is an actor and a secret employee at Mr. Beast. They had him dive through this fake door twice. This line is scripted. This action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted.
Rosanna or Rosanna Pansino, I have no idea, on the other hand, has been anti-Beast ever since her placement in a hide-and-seek video for the Mr. Beast channel a couple years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, something like that.
Dude, they gotta be moving. Wait, who's that? Wait, who's that? Wait, point the camera! Who is that? Oh! Oh no! Bros, you're not fooling anyone with those big pants.
That video was altered in post-production, and it's been a uphill, downhill battle, however you want to look at it, for her in regard to being the most impressive hater of Mr. Beast. She has quite literally kept this man on. He's got to hate her. He's got to hate Rosanna Pansino. I mean, I'm gonna be real.
Today's date is October 16th, so these are supposed to be good for like another 2 months. And right when I was opening these, because I thought, let's not just put them on the plate, let's like put all the food on the plate just to see what they look like. I'm opening this, and this is molded. Like that's mold.
That is a hater of a level that I have to have respect for.
Apparently, the first video I made about Mr. Beast and his Beast games is being suppressed and restricted on TikTok as of today.
I mean, regardless of all this stuff, I know a lot of people are picking sides. A lot of people just hate Mr. Beast. A lot of people just love Mr. Beast. Most of those people are children. And to be fair, there's lots of adults who just don't give a f, and they just think it's funny to watch the world burn, which I think I'm kind of in that camp at this point, guys. I really don't give a f about any of this stuff anymore. I just want to see some people acknowledge something, but it's just not going to happen. You know, I'm too naive for this world. I'm too naive for this world, so I shall return to where I came from. Did you see that shit? I blew away. It was real too. It was legit. No special effects, no movie magic. That was legit. Now, Rosanna spends her time on Twitter exposing Mr. Beast, now with Dawson, and trying to find as many skeletons in the closet as they possibly can. For example, showing a leaked document, Mr. Beast's supposed employee handbook.
A very concerning document was sent to me who says that this is an internal employee manual written by Mr. Beast Jimmy himself. I confirmed the legitimacy of this document with 2 former Mr. Beast employees. I think that this gives you a little insight to the type of person Jimmy really is.
We've showed this document in a YouTube video before. It's pretty wild. It's like no doesn't mean no and stuff, and there's Mr. Beast on the thumbnail. It's so juicy. It's so juicy that it's crazy, guys. Crazy. Dawson drops some wild shit. For example, a no does not mean no section in the Beast employee handbook, and a section of how to succeed. It's a Mr. Beast official document company. Basically says that if you go to a location scouting it to film and you're told you can't film there, you are not allowed to take no as an option, and staff for Mr. Beast is advised to seek out employees and bosses who might have kids who like the channel to use that to leverage manipulation. Like, that's insane. I can't even record in public. How to succeed in Mr. Beast. Wait, are you telling me Mr. Beast approaches YouTube with a sociopathic competitive spirit? That he will only, oh wait, are you telling me he works with Logan Paul? Yes, of course, it's all coming together. It all makes perfect sense. These aren't real people. These are fake people. These are not real people. These are not real people. These aren't like your family members or your friends or anything like that. They're capitalizing off of you. I just farted a lot. By the way, I said it seems like in regard to Rosanna, her influence on the internet, being Mr. Beast tweets and just being a generational hater of Mr. Beast, that's her whole thing now, it seems. Or at least that's the only thing I get showed. So maybe that says more about me. I don't really know. Apparently, she's gonna have Kamala Harris on her podcast or something. I think I just made that up, actually. I don't think that's real. I think I just made that shit up. I did actually just make that up. I just made that up right now. She's kind of like the female Joe Rogan. I wonder if she'll have me on her podcast, you know? I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to say, all right? I'm super fired up right now. I'm in the dark. And there's things moving around back there, and I'm really scared. Jokey demeanor aside, Rosanna and Dawson are not in the wrong in any of their criticisms of Mr. Beast. Some of the things they have said are just blatantly not true, which is incredibly important to acknowledge.
So Ava Tyson sends a photo of a young-looking girl in a sheer top.
Ivanka Trump when she was 13.
And at the end of the day, I do genuinely enjoy seeing pressure being put on untouched things. I like it, right? Things just should never operate with impunity. I love freedom of speech and criticism, etc., etc. I love it when people hate me. I love that, but I also don't like being the bad guy. So it's like, you know, it's kind of this weird sort of incestuous thing that I've got going on that I love seeing in other places. I'm very Freudian with my hate and criticisms. Anyways, yeah, I'm not sure. That being said, Rosanna and Dawson's criticisms are, some of them, very valid, in my opinion. I think it's perfectly reasonable to say the things that they've said. And I feel like a lot of people agree with that. But at the same time, a lot of that shit too, I just don't give a about. It's just like it's being drug on so long, and Mr. Beast doesn't seem to really care. So I'm like, oh, I thought this was gonna be a fight. I thought we were gonna witness a, you know, like an actual, you know, something's gonna get done. But no, it's a Logan Paul situation. It's just, we're just gonna have more and more pieces of shit, and it's just gonna be a bigger, more divide, and there's no unity. There's no unity, all right? There's no unity, or whatever not that there needs to be honest. Humans are quite tribal. Something I wanna see, and we have not seen any of, and I've mentioned this a little bit already in this video and in my previous videos in regard to this topic, but we haven't seen a concise response to claims made against Mr. Beast by Mr. Beast or those people in his company. The fire under his ass has gotten hotter and hotter and hotter, and there has been no concise response, and at this point it's like, Dawson and Rosanna had a lot more kind of appeal in the beginning because like, oh, this is all really interesting stuff, and now they're kind of pushing it forward. They're being egged on by people, and they've got this kind of following, and now they've got to sort of reach, and there's a lack of journalistic integrity that's kind of coming through. And I'm not a journalist. I would never pretend to be a journalist. Neither are Dawson and Rosanna. These are YouTubers. And I don't think these people, I don't want to speak for them, but I don't think these people regard themselves as journalists. If they do, they're very bad at it. Just being honest.
A whistleblower is somebody, usually an employee or organization member, who publicly reports illegal, unethical, or immoral activity.
I think they both make fine content, but there's a lot of stuff here that's just like not, it's so unprofessional, and it's muddied the water so much that it really feels like this whole thing is just going to come down to being nonsensical internet drama that will never be realized in any sense beyond just like relatively niche chapters of the internet of like Twitter and shit, which is super unfortunate. And I would like to see some real change and some interest, you know, I would like to see what Mr. Beast has to say about all this stuff, but I don't think we're going to, unfortunately. That was until the group chats got leaked, allegedly. The group chats got leaked, and this is bad. This is actually pretty bad, but also Not in the way you might think, but also probably more so in ways you are thinking. I'm just saying words, to be honest, at this point.
I have received thousands of leaked messages from an official MrBeast work chat. These are all just their work chats from 2020 to about 2021 on Telegram.
Little is known about Mr. Beast aside from his charitable donations and his ability to heal the poor and feed the blind or whatever. So the group chat got leaked. And that's not good, guys. A new video alleging that within employee work chats, CSAM and CSEM, aka bad stuff, was shared, and Jimmy allegedly knew about it.
How the hell could Jimmy say he doesn't know about his best friend when he's posting this in the chat with him?
In hindsight, this is very not true. This is not true. It's bad, and it was a bad allegation, and it's this whole thing is really bad. The whole thing is really bad, and it's getting a lot worse. It's a shame that slop content is so massive on YouTube right now. I hate this dude. I literally cannot stand it, but alas, I don't let my dreams be dreams. So I'm gonna keep talking about it. All right, guys, I'm gonna keep trying to drop truth bombs on y'all motherfuckers. Just make sure your ears are open and make sure your mind is open too, but not so open that it will fall out of your head, you stupid fuck. In a video titled Mr. Beast Knew All Along, parentheses, 1,000 plus leaked messages, close parentheses, the thumbnail shows Mr. Beast and Ava Tyson besmirched, is that the right word? Besmirched Ava Tyson, sending blurred messages to one another. It's very interesting. It's very odd. Chris would love this. And Mr. Beast smiles without his eyes, which I don't know if I should like be making fun of him. I don't know if he's like on the spectrum or something like that. And I just have this weird bullying instinct. I don't really know what's going on, but Rosanna doesn't like it at all. Jimmy Donaldson. Okay. Good thumbnail. In that thumbnail, there appears to be an anime girl with the age 17. By the way, blurring is not destructive. You can just unblur that. You can just sharpen it. Blurring is not a good way to hide information. Pixelation is the way you have to hide information. Blurring is not, it doesn't work that well, to be honest. If you just get far away and squint, you can read it. You can literally read it. We're gonna parse through the video a little bit. It has been heavily criticized as being some of the worst journalism of the 21st century, and I don't know about that, and quite frankly, I didn't even see that. I just feel like it would be funny to say that. You know, it's not great. It's not great, and it is important to acknowledge on both sides. I am on pro-truth side. I'm on pro-fact side. I really want Mr. Beast to come out and acknowledge the shit that is perfectly reasonable to acknowledge as a business owner. It doesn't make any sense to sweep under the rug. People care. People actually care. There's like ethics and what I want doesn't really matter, I guess. I'll get back to the video. People want to see him burn, all right? And that's why I'm kind of trying to be smart here. The first claim the video makes is that Jimothy Beast knew about Ava's inappropriate behavior towards minors, showing messages sent by Ava in the Mr. Beast main work chat. One is a meme saying, "Why yes, I'm a sexual predator." And, you know, that's pretty funny. If it wasn't sent by Ava Tyson, it would be very funny. It's a funny meme. But when it's sent by Ava Tyson, it's like, okay, that's scary. That's scarier. That's a lot scarier now. That's much worse.
The proof that Jimmy knew about Tyson's behavior is right here.
Still a funny meme in a vacuum, I guess. This was then followed by a blurred picture also sent by Ava in the work chat that is supposedly a near nude of Ivanka Trump when she was 13. Big disclaimer, it's censored. Also, she was not 13, she was 18 at the time of the image. I haven't seen the image. I'm not gonna look at the image. I'm not gonna show the image in my video because I don't really give a. That was just not true. None of that was true at all, and that's a big claim in a video, and that is a huge L.
Ivanka Trump when she was 13.
Yeah, and the message reads, so this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she was 13. Ava thought that this was possibly a 13-year-old, and she's posting it in a work chat.
That is a big time L. I feel like, you know, the champion for ethics and the championing and all this stuff, that's cool. Championing for being a generational hater, it's hard to get behind that. I step away a little bit for that one, all right, guys? And sometimes I'll get close and I'll zoom in on myself, and then I'll hope that there's no boogers in my nose. Hello. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you feeling well? By the way, not defending Ava Tyson at all. I think Ava Tyson is a weird piece of shit. I've lost care. I've lost care. It's nonsense. To be fair, Rosanna in her video does say that this is alleged and not confirmed, which is good, but like at the same time, obviously you're gonna say that. It's like you're hoping that it was you're just reaching for everything, really, is what's going on here. The big claim, the overarching claim in the video is that Jimmy knew Ava was inclined towards inappropriate behavior and he didn't do anything. And there was this huge backlash in regard to Ava, and he only decided to acknowledge it when everyone else became aware, when all the allegations came out in July, as he claimed in his public statement. So they're trying to undermine Mr. Beast even further, which in my opinion, you really don't need to. After the first Dawson video, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. Of course, yeah, you're right. Most of this is, 95% of all of this is just so right, and it's amazing, and it's well done, and it's fun, and now it's just like, it's like it's just, I don't know, it's not as good. It's not as good. It's just internet nonsense that I don't care as much about, because it just keeps on not being true. Rosanna was skeptical of the claim that Mr. Beast made that he had only just found out recently, given the fact that Mr. Beast had Shadman's art hanging up on the wall when he lived with Ava. I just saw a creature run off, I swear to God. Skinwalker, dude. What the f? That's crazy, dude.
And Mr. Beast even had a Shadman poster hanging up in his house in the living room, like as a centerpiece, and it remained in his house after Ava moved out. You can see it in this video.
I didn't even know what Shadman was until all this stuff, and quite frankly, I've grown very weary of the internet this year. I've grown very weary after learning about all this stuff. Jimothy Beast knew that Ava had NSFW channels in the Discord server for fans of the Mr. Beast channel.
A user named Brooke the Mom saying, okay, I do think it's a bit inappropriate and should be limited to those who are actually of appropriate age because it's open to everyone, is it not? Like, there should be a restriction on it. She goes on to say, I don't have an issue with the channel, but I have an issue with our minors that have access to said channel, referring to the Not Safe for Work channel. And then Chris responds, is there even a way to do that?
And like, there was a lot of extremely inappropriate stuff that Rosanna is alleging that Mr. Beast knew about long in advance before he claimed to have known anything about it, to undermine his reputation and to presumably get his deal with Logan Paul, with the Mavericks, with the Low Gang canceled or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure why you would ever want to work with Logan Paul. And also KSI, he sucks too, dude. Like, who the f is this guy?
From the screen to the ring to the pen to the king.
These people are so terrible. They just suck. You don't even need to go out on a limb. People just see it. You're not going to be able to destroy them. It's not how it works. Have you ever seen Idiocracy?
Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
It has electrolytes. That's real life. That's Prime in real life. That is Logan Paul in real life. All this stuff is real life.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Dumbasses. Where's the Hawk Tuah button on this thing? So yeah, all the inappropriate stuff is old news at this point. It is incredibly well documented, and it's obvious who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Mr. Beast should have a level of responsibility for all of this stuff, 110%. Any responsible man who has a level of ownership and takes accountability for their actions and the people that they surround themselves with would. Like, it's just, you should just take it on the chin and keep rolling, bud. But this is like the only response he ever made to anything, and there's still people trying to undermine that. In this video, they laid the groundwork to show that inappropriate exchanges were had and children had access to unsafe images when they shouldn't have. So they're trying to raise the question, how could Jimmy not have known when he said he didn't know?
How the hell could Jimmy say he doesn't know about his best friend when he's posting this in the chat with him?
How could you not have known when it was so rampant? And the leak of the group chat, my man, is supposed to prove that he did know about Ava's very inappropriate behavior, or at the very least knew that Ava had an inappropriate sense of humor before allegations came out, which, dude, I've seen clips of Mr. Beast from podcasts years and years and years ago that were incredibly inappropriate.
I dare you to say something controversial. Chris, I was thinking about robbing a store.
You can't do that. You'll get shot, Jimmy.
I'm white.
Oh yeah.
If you have an inappropriate sense of humor, it doesn't automatically equate to being a predator. That's just not how that works, okay? If you make, it's dark humor, liberals, all right? Some predators do happen to also have dark senses of humor. It seems like. you know, I've tended to notice that. But the beauty's in the eye of the beholder, as they say. Then they go on to claim that the individual in the group chat named John Smith is Mr. Beast.
I want to show you that John Smith in these chat logs is Mr. Beast. We've had this confirmed by multiple former employees. He changed his name on Telegram at some point after. I'll just show some messages to show that John Smith is Jimmy.
Identifying several messages in which he refers to himself as Mr. Beast or Jimmy as evidence for this claim that John Smith is not a founding father or revolutionary, but instead Jimothy Beast, founding father and revolutionary.
Here he's saying he got exposed after Keemstar called him a simp on Twitter. And then here he gets tagged as Jimmy by someone else. Of course I knew that. Every time I text Keem about drama, he tells me to f off and that he's known for 23 hours.
There's some context of it. I don't know, there's tweets and stuff. I'm not sure.
It's John Smith linking Jimmy Donaldson's wiki feet and then saying, my feet are a 4.8 out of 5.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Mine are a 5 out of 5.
Oh.
Don't want to brag, but that's embarrassing.
John Smith. 4.8 out of 5. Am I on there? Am I on WikiFeet? I don't think I'm on WikiFeet yet. WikiFeet. Oompaville. Oh, I'm on there. That is a strong image too. Wow. That is quite an image there. Caleb Phelps. Damn, there's lots. Oh man, there's a lot of these. I did not expect this. What the f is that, dude? That's crazy. There's a lot. There's hundreds. Oh my God, there's a picture of my penis on here. Just kidding. Wow, this is crazy. Anyways, what's my rating though? 5.47 out of 5. Yes, sir. Boom, boom, boom. They can only share a few of the messages in the video, but Rosanna also shared the entire group chat on Twitter, scrolling through the messages so anyone can view what was sent and by whomst. We've downloaded it just in case it gets deleted. It probably won't. It's not that big of a deal. It's kind of like, the big thing is just not true, which is the Ivanka Trump thing, which I already said wasn't true.
So Ava Tyson sends a photo of a young looking girl in a sheer top.
Ivanka Trump when she was 13.
I should have been like, oh God, did they do it? And then revealed that at the end, but I don't give a f. So I just told you it was not true in the very beginning, and I kind of ruined my point of the video. So, and now I'm looking at WikiFeed, so that's super off topic, but oh well. Anyways, the whole purpose of sharing these messages is once again to prove that Mr. Beast knew about Ava well before the public and well before his public acknowledgement claims he did. And these messages, the group chat messages, are all from 2020, 2021, so it's years ago, not months, as Jimmy had claimed. There are a ton of memes also sent in the inappropriate messages, some that Dawson and Rosanna didn't show, and these include very inappropriate depictions of Franklin the Turtle from the kid show thing. There's some really weird shit. I'm obviously not gonna show it in this video, and I don't suggest you guys look it up. There's really bizarre stuff in the group chat. But once again, I feel like, I mean, I've never sent anything like that in a group chat, to be fair. And like a lot of this stuff is really odd, and Ava clearly has a massive problem, but like, there's some up shit in some group chats. All right, I'm just gonna be real. All right, you know? Just kidding, I'm a really pretty boring, nice guy, to be honest. So I like to pretend to be cool and edgy and then, you know, say, hold your horses, liberals. It's just dark humor, liberals. But it doesn't work. I'm cold, and I just want support from people. I don't really care. I don't want people to dislike me, and I don't want to dislike people. I just want to learn and move forward as a human being. That's really kind of what, life's very short, and 100 years hence, none of this will matter. 6 months hence, none of this will matter. So we don't even have to. Now kiss me. Then to follow directly with me making light of all of that, there were memes sent specifically related to being a predator or sex offender, which is not that funny. They're not very funny. The asexual one I thought was kind of okay. These are cringe and weird. Pretty much all sent by Ava too, which is just unbelievable. What a freak. Ava also shared some incest stuff. Ava's a weirdo, bro. Ava is a absolute weirdo, just troglodyte internet dweller that followed me on Twitter. And was even a supporter of Sour Boys, which is really unfortunate. So beyond work chat posts that are not safe for work, which is inappropriate in and of itself, but also it wasn't actually a work chat that came out as well, you know, so that's, I keep calling it it's a group chat. It's not a work chat. Part of the whole deal with the Rosanna thing is that it was a work chat. It also wasn't even a work chat, but there are exchanges in here, aside from just memes and posting NSFW stuff in a work chat, group chat, whatever there's exchanges that are far worse. Dawson and Rosanna showed a message in which Jimmy shared an anime that Ava would be interested in.
June of 2021, he sends a message of an anime called Higihiro. It says, "I bet Chris would love this show."
And it is an anime supposedly about a relationship between a 26-year-old and a 17-year-old. The 26-year-old is drunk and lets a high schooler he finds on the side of the road stay at his place overnight, and according to the show description, the story proceeds from there.
It's well known online to be a controversial anime, and this anime is based on even more explicit novels that go into the details of this romantic relationship between an adult and an underage girl.
I've personally never watched the show, not a big anime guy, not into weird shit. I'm a regular ass dude, super normal, in the dark though, which is weird. You know, if being into weird shit is wearing $40,000 quad nods and shooting things in the middle of the night with my friends, then I am weird as f. But if it has to do anything with like victimizing people and making anyone of any creed or shape feel uncomfortable, for me to get a laugh or feel some kind of rise at their expense, I'm not into it. I'm not into it. That goes with most things, so unfortunately I'm just trying to live, you know, better life here. But anyways. Once again, I've never watched the show, nor will I ever, so I will not be able to approach the show from an informed standpoint. Some posts suggest that the show is to raise social awareness of teen runaways in Japan, so it's like a good show, and some suggest it encourages criminality since it's illegal to shelter runaway girls, which I don't know anything about criminality or runaways or anything like that at all. These people we're taking this information from could be just as ignorant as me, all right? They could be just as ignorant as I am. And they probably are, let's be real. People are really ignorant nowadays, all right? They're very, very, very ignorant. By far, the most disturbing thing shared in the group chat is when Ava shared a picture of Ivanka Trump in a very revealing top, stating that it is her at the age of 13. It is not. It is her at the age of 18.
Oh, this isn't a work chat.
So Ava Tyson sends a photo of a young-looking girl in a sheer top.
Ivanka Trump when she was 13.
And sharing that her manager was a Also, in the message, Ava shared that, which further implicates that the picture is likely someone who is underage who shouldn't have their image be shared. The exact text from Ava is, "So this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she was 13. Her modeling age in Junkas Bunkas became really..." At the very least, in this group chat, they're sharing an image of someone who they believe is 13 years old. For what reason? I have no idea, and they're reverse image searching it. And I don't know what it is about. I don't know if this is weird, but I just feel weird how much this has been used to, just in general, even by Rosanna and Dawson. Like, this just seems weird. It makes me really uncomfortable. This whole thing makes me really uncomfortable. Like what I mentioned in the very beginning, that the image is not of a 13-year-old person, it does make it not illegal at that point, but the behavior of Ava Tyson is disgusting regardless. Luckily, this person has been eliminated off the internet, and I don't think that they will ever come back. At least I hope they don't. So yeah, very odd. I want to know what you guys think down below. It is very important that this is not an image of a 13-year-old person, in my opinion, and also it is just as important that the person who posted it believed that it was. Very strange. Absolutely really weird and strange. So how could Mr. Beast claim that he didn't know about Ava when years ago in a group chat that they were both in, Ava was sending what she believed to be a scandalous photo of a child, and Jimmy was recommending anime or whatever the anime thing's nonsense. It's a nothing burger in my opinion. A lot of anime is weird like that, which is why I don't like it, but a lot of normal people, I feel like relatively normal people, love shit that's weird, so I don't know. I could be completely wrong and off base. I probably am. I'm in Appalachia right now. It's dark, and there's a purple light beside me, and it's disorienting me. I feel like a bug. Now, this is where the second chapter of the controversy comes into play. By sharing this message and image from Ava in the Mr. Beast group chat from back in 2021, Dawson and Rosanna have drawn quite a bit, once again, controversy towards themselves and directed it more and lessons directed towards Mr. Beatenheimer, all right, bud? Also, Rosanna pinned a comment on her video saying that she had reported all of this to the FBI, which caused even more controversy. So the main thing is just not true. It's not Ivanka Trump. You're wasting the FBI's time, but a lot of the headlines around this are like racist memes and what is the FBI going to do about any of that? Why are you involving the FBI? What does that even mean? Why are you, this is YouTube drama. This is not FBI related. Now on to perfectly valid concerns in regard to Rosanna and Dawson. these are concerns that I also have. TBH. If they believe that this was CP, and they actually were taking at face value what Ava Tyson was sharing, then why exactly would they view it in the video, and why would Rosanna use said image in the thumbnail? And more than that, do A/B testing to ensure that the thumbnail that got the most views was the one that would appear, and that one happened to be the one with alleged terrible content. CSAM. All right, that's weird. That's really, really, really strange. Your priorities are mixed up. It seems like your priorities are mixed up, and you can recover from that. To be fair, you can get criticism and then change it, of course. But like at this point, how would you not know? I mean, with the internet, with Ava thing all coming out, like this is a mistake you could make a couple years ago, 2 years ago. But this is just really odd at this point. It's like, everyone sucks, it seems like. Look at all these A/B tests, guys. She said she was 12! She said she was 12! She's 13, she said she was 12! She said she was 12! That was a giant trend on YouTube for a long time, putting, she said she was 12! People love watching people get exposed for being Also important to note, a lot of the backlash against Dawson and Rosanna has come from a group of ne'er-do-wells, as the internet would call them. Keemstar, Willie Mack, and Nicholas Diorio. Friends of the show. These folks are critical for some quite valid reasons because of the use of the content for the content and potentially needing to save it to their devices to include it in their video, which is really weird. That is so weird. It's true. That's so strange. Like, how could you see that and then just be like, oh, this is gonna be a huge bombshell we're gonna drop. Let's go ahead and put it on the thumbnail, put it in the video. You don't do that. You shouldn't do that. If you know, you shouldn't do that, right? If you know. If you don't know, then it's a stupid mistake. But if you do know, then you're weird and you're kind of unethical. And that's where all this stuff stems from, is like, who can be more unethical in trying to prove how unethical each other is. It's really ironic. It's an Ouroboros of stupidity. So yeah, really odd thought. Dawson has denied reacting to it or saving uncensored versions of anything. He said that on his Twitter, while also simultaneously denying that it was exploitative or illegal in any way and it was conveyed as factual. It was more so a speculative thing. So that's the response to those criticisms. The goal of Rosanna and Dawson was to simply share that Ava had shared the uncensored image in a Mr. Beast work group chat while she had believed it to be an explicit image of the minor. So they're trying to reorient it back towards Ava, which I think is perfectly reasonable, because at the end of the day, the person who's really in the wrong is Ava here, for sure.
Either way, like having Ava Tyson saying, oh, this photo is allegedly Ivanka Trump when she's 13 and it's clearly sexually explicit. She's wearing a see-through top. That's insane.
That is wildly inappropriate and just insane for a company chat.
You got this dumbass game of ethics being played in YouTube drama nonsense. What do you expect? I mean, of course, it makes sense, right? Like, of course this is happening right now. I love it. I want to run into that darkness back there really fast and then never return. My fiance girlfriend is in that RV behind me. There's an RV behind me. She's listening. I can see her watching me. She's watching me right now. She's my biggest fan. I'm her biggest fan as well. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to go back in there and talk to her, to be honest. What was I saying again? I have a laptop right here, right under the camera. Oh, and it's greasy. It's covered in grease. Oh, I'm so dirty. On top of them further painting Ava as the true villain, they are undermining Mr. Beast's response. That's the whole goal, is that he knew when the group chat was active. Oh, Jimmy Smith, or whatever the his name was. After the video went live, it didn't take long for people to hunt down the original image, which is from a British GQ magazine, and Ivanka was 18 years old at the time, so there's nothing illegal at all about it. That unfortunately made the controversy even worse, guys. Even worse controversy. Dawson shared that update himself on Twitter. I gotta be honest, he's taken it like a man, in a sense. I really do appreciate this. It's good to see people being willing to acknowledge their mistakes. You have to be, because the failure of journalism here is gigantic, huge. In his response, he also says that he knows people will tell him he should have researched further before they went to the authorities, because they reported that shit to the FBI, a post from GQ, and just wasted federal time. Which maybe is good. It's not. You shouldn't do that. However, he does say that Rosanna went to the FBI before they filmed the video, and and everything was handled as per the law. The comments on Dawson's post are fairly critical of him, saying that even if Mr. Beast is a bad guy, by getting so many things wrong and having like a lack of sort of journalistic integrity, they weaken their own arguments and undermine themselves even more than they could undermine Mr. Beast's silence. I agree 110% with Omni here. I think you guys are slowly weakening your own arguments. It's very important to get these facts correct versus leaving it for open speculation. When the result doesn't lean in your favor, it chips away at your credibility as a source, especially when others report on it. You shouldn't do that. I don't know. It just feels dumb. Like this whole thing just feels stupid now. It felt cool and like, oh, there might be some good that's come out. I got to talk to everyone involved, and it seemed like there was going to be a resolution, but neither side actually is a real human being, it seems like, unfortunately. So, oh well, it's just me. I'm the only one left. I'm the only real person. It feels like that right now. I feel like Will Smith from I Am Legend and or Fresh Prince in that scene where the house is empty and he's standing there. There's a couple scenes where he feels quite alone. iRobot as well. Willie Mack also had a good take saying, you should have found this out before making your video. You clearly don't give a shit about doing a good job. I get we were just making YouTube videos, but you need to have some level of integrity before going forward with the story. True. Absolutely true. None of that is fake. None of that is false. That's totally true. That's 110% true. You cannot argue against that in any way. You definitely should have. You're just making YouTube videos, you're making shit, but you're building a career off being a generational hater. People have done that before successfully, but it's because they're just journalists and they're smart and they're not YouTubers who are just clout goblins or whatever the f. This is where things become incredibly complicated because it's obviously not a great look to levy hefty accusations like this that just fall through, especially when you take into consideration the other falsities that have been proposed by Dawson, which have been reported on by other people. For example, Dawson had alleged in the past that a Mr. Beast employee had been guilty of DV.
I heard that he's very aggressive. I've heard him referred to as a psychopath who screams at people and hits his girlfriends. There's allegedly domestic violence charges that were filed against him. And I say allegedly because it turns out there's a lot of people in North Carolina named James Warren who assault their girlfriends, I guess. So I'm still having people look into these cases.
And he said as much in his video without actually confirming the facts or kind of going through with anything. So it's a continuous lapse of judgment. There's no luck involved. There's it's nobody's fault but the person who's reporting it. I mean, like, you know, it's gotta admit that. You gotta admit that. You gotta acknowledge that it's not good. It's not smart, right? I still believe both Rosanna and Dawson mean well, and I feel like the internet itself kind of gives things like this a life of their own potentially, and the whole cancellation big monster rears its ugly, stupid head in slop and the internet. Yeah, everybody's responsible, but also there's a level of just kind of magic that's out there that you can't really control, and it makes good people do stupid shit, and stupid people do good shit? No, it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. I'm just trying to be a nice guy. I'm trying to see the best in both worlds. So I'm sorry. Well, that was a gunshot. Anyways, Dawson still maintains that he wasn't trying to allege that actual illegal images were being sent or accuse them of distributing illegal images. He only wanted to say that Ava had believed that it was an underage person and had shared it in a Mr. Beast work group chat to show that that's what they're up to, which is, yeah, I guess so, right? Huge if true. And the primary consumer of Mr. Beast content is children. And the primary consumer of Mr. Beast food, Lunchly products, just all that stuff is just children. Logan Paul, children. It's all just children. It's all just babies, children. It's weird when this is what these people are doing and saying behind the scenes. But then again, you got Blippy or Bloopy. What's his name? Blippy, the guy who projectiles shit out of his ass. People are weird, dude. People are really, really, really weird. Sometimes you just got to make a cost-benefit analysis before you determine what's good and bad. There will always be bad. There will always be bad. It's the cosmic scale of things, right, guys? It's the cosmic scale of things, right? Me thinking about my cosmic scale right now. I'm thinking about my cosmic scale. Someone shot a gun right behind me about a minute and a half ago, and I'm still a little bit nervous about that. Anyways, for me and probably the average viewer, I would like to think it's a challenging balance to approach. I totally get why people are mad at Rosanna and Dawson and the haters, the generational haters of Mr. Beast, but yet I still totally understand the point they're trying to make. And even if it's not well served by alleging something may be something that it is not and then being completely disproven unequivocally, I still get it. I still get that there's criticism from both sides, and I don't think it completely devalues or destroys either, but you know, it kind of does. It's starting to, a little bit. The whole thing is getting rotten now, and it's becoming nothing. This is not the only controversy that Mr. Beast is going through right now involving Rosanna. The Lunchly disaster is still it's still actively unfolding.
This is mold in the cheese, and this is really unhealthy. You should not eat mold. I don't know if this is an issue in the recipe development or packaging. I think it's a packaging issue. The sealant here feels really cheap.
I'm big into this because I'm in the food industry. I actually we manufacture food. I have my best friend that I've known since childhood is the COO of my candy company, and he is making candy. Not right now probably because it's dark and it's nighttime and he's probably home with his family enjoying his life. So Lunchly launched with big promises. It's like a lunch kit. I got one delivered to my house the day I was recording a video about it.
A little bit of lead there, a little bit of lead there.
Whole lot of lead there. Lots of lead in that. That was mostly lead right there, bud. It's marketed as the healthier option, competing with popular lunch kits like Lunchables and the other ones. I don't know, they're for children or whatever, but Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, KSI have all touted the products. Lower calories, reduced sugar, and the inclusion of electrolytes. Literally straight out of Idiocracy. It's crazy. All is proof of its superiority.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar. Feastables Crunch
Bar. However, these claims have been met with widespread criticism, with some finding that despite its healthier pitch, Lunchly shares many of the exact same process characteristics of other snack kits, because it does. It's just shit. But if you need to eat one over the other, you definitely should choose Lunchly.
It has electrolytes. Good for a strong heart of a young growing boy.
Whenever you make marketing claims about food products, there's a level of tension that is set on the stage for people to pick apart and criticize. And if you're saying things like Lunchly, you're using the word healthier or better for you, you may be telling the truth, but it's still disingenuous, you know, when things like broccoli exist. Better for you in what world? All right, sure, I'd rather be shot with a 223 than a 4570, or would I? Or would I? Would I rather die faster? I don't know. What's the relativity here? What's the relativity here, motherfuckers? Because I'm a little foggy on it. So all that being said, there happens to be a bunch of mold in the Lunchables, and that's another controversy that Rosanna and the generational haters of Mr. Beast, and some who aren't even haters of Mr. Beast, have been kind of picking up on. There was a bit of a trend of videos talking about Lunchly and showing different Lunchlys being disgusting. The ones that I had were pretty good. They tasted like shit processed snack kit foods, which was good. I liked it. I liked it. Would I ever eat it again? No. Have I eaten it since? Nope. I'm an adult, all right? If I'm gonna eat something shitty, it's gonna be something that costs money, and it's nice, and it's good, and I wanna eat it like Dr. Pepper. There's been so much that's happened. Even Logan Paul made a succinct response for this is maybe the second time he's done that in his life. He acknowledged some falsities that scared the shit out of me, whatever the that was. I don't think there was anything. I'm on edge. I'm on edge. I'm on edge right now. It's all right. I've got an HK Mark 23. So, really odd stuff. I'm extremely confused as to who exactly is in the wrong, and it's come down to it just being a large area of gray that makes me feel like it's a gigantic waste of time to even talk about any of this on my YouTube channel, and for you, specifically for you to watch it. But if you enjoy it, press the like button. If you want to see more, smash the sub. Go to the Gum Club for uncensored versions of the video and deals on Sour Boys. Go to sour.gg, use whatever code we had in this video, and buy some candy. And support a YouTuber brand that I would like to pretend actually cares about stuff, listens to people, etc., because I would rather myself than be like any of these other people out here. So, and I have the means.